Hey guys, it's Gaia, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. So it's been a few weeks since university has started back, so I thought today to talk all about homesickness. Homesickness can happen to anyone, whether you're a first year, a second year, a third year, an international student, a UK resident. So today I will be sharing with you all my tips and advice on how to deal with homesickness that I've picked up over the last 2 years of studying at university. If you do find this video helpful, please give it a like and feel free to click that subscribe button if you want to join our cute YouTube family. I'd be more than happy to have you. Also, comment down below how you're dealing with homesickness and starting at university. I'd love to know how you're getting on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with this video. So the first bit of advice I want to give you guys is not to worry, because this happens to a lot of people. University can be quite an exciting but also scary time, because you are literally thrown into an unknown environment where you have to meet new people and find your way around new buildings and get to know the city as well, and these can all contribute to feelings of homesickness. So like I said, if you are feeling homesick, I just want to say don't worry. Even though I didn't feel homesick when I first moved to university, I found it actually really hard to move back to university this year because of the whole pandemic. Because of COVID-19, my second year felt as though it got cut short, because halfway through March we were all suddenly told to go home and just like leave almost like everything behind, like leave my student accommodation, say goodbye to my friends because I probably wasn't going to see them for a while, and basically move back. And that basically meant that I ended up spending about 6 months at home this summer, compared to say the 3 months that I normally would spend in between each academic year. And because of that, I ended up getting very used to the idea of staying at home. So when I actually moved back here nearly a month ago, I actually found it a lot harder to move back than I did when I actually first moved to university, because I'd adjusted to living at home, I'd adjusted to doing my university work at home, you know, I'd adjusted to FaceTime with my boyfriend 38 miles apart from each other. And when I got back here, it just felt really weird because I'd almost gotten used to living around my family again. So like I said earlier, homesickness can happen to anyone at any time, and if you are experiencing this, I don't want you to feel isolated in this, because a lot of people do go through this, and like I said, at different times. The first like proper tip I want to give you guys if you are experiencing homesickness is keep in touch with family so you don't feel like you're missing out if you are living away from home. I advise things like texting them, calling them. I personally think FaceTime is actually the best method though, because you are seeing them visually and you can actually show them what you've gotten up to, and like you can actually see each other, you know, on camera. It's not as detached as it would be say by text. However though, everyone has their preference. Ever since I first moved to university 2 years ago, I've been FaceTiming my mom like every day pretty much, or every like few days, to let her know how I've been getting on. And I found when I first moved to university that like this was just so helpful to do, because not only was she keeping me in the loop with things at home, I was also keeping her in the loop with things at university, so she knew I was getting on okay and was able to see how I was adjusting. Bottom line is, keep in touch with your family, because if you do feel like you are out of the loop, or you don't feel like as connected because you're actually physically further away, that's going to make you feel even more homesick and isolated. The next bit of advice I want to give you guys is that when you first move to university, try not to go home like straight away. If you're one of those people that feels like you're going to be prone to homesickness, or already are homesick and you've just moved to university and you're struggling, I know it can be really hard to do, but if you're one of those people that is planning to go home and visit your family very soon, if I were you, I'd wait at least a month or two, just so you are like forcing yourself to adjust and settle into this new environment and around these new people. Because if you move to university and realize that you are not actually really blending with the whole atmosphere, and then you go home straight away, chances are you're not going to want to come back to university. So my advice is to stick it out for a month or two and see how you feel before you then go home, because by that point you'll have started to settle into university and you will probably be able to actually come back to university. I want to remind you guys that the first few weeks of university are probably the hardest, because like I said, you are settling into this new environment. So if you are one of those people that are finding it difficult to adjust, just give it a few weeks. Don't run home, because like I said, you are not going to want to come back. Trust me. So the next bit of advice I want to give you guys is to make sure you're productive every day, so you're busy and not sat around thinking about missing home. I advise things like hanging out with course mates or flatmates so you can befriend new people, and it can help you adjust quicker to this new routine. Also, if you end up getting really close to some of these flatmates or friends, you might even find that these people end up becoming almost like family members to you in this new city. So if there is a time of need, you feel like you have got family around you still to help you, or just someone to talk to. So I really do recommend socializing in this time, because even though sometimes the last thing you want to do is just talk to strangers and befriend new people when you have your loved ones at home, it is such a good thing to make sure that you do have a good network of friends here to talk to if anything ever does happen. Also do things like join societies and clubs, so you can not only meet new people and friends, but you can also learn a skill that will keep you occupied. A good way to stay productive is making sure you organise your days, even to the point where you are organising each hour, so there aren't any points in the day where you are just sat on your bed thinking about missing home. A good way to stay productive and to make sure that you aren't sat alone thinking about missing home is to invest in things like weekly planners or diaries. So something like this, which is a weekly planner, or even something like this, which is just a typical to-do list. Honestly, if you make sure you are busy during the first few weeks of university, the weeks will fly by, and before you know it, a month or two will have passed, and the feeling of wanting to rush home so desperately, or feeling like you really miss your family, won't be as like overwhelming as much. Like obviously you're gonna still miss your family, but you won't feel that desire to run back home or as though this whole new university routine isn't working. University is also a great place to do this because there are so many activities and things you can throw yourselves in, whether that's academic or social. So regardless of what you do, make sure you are staying busy and active. Another bit of advice I want to give you guys, if you are feeling homesick, is to not only get used to the buildings and your flatmates and all those aspects of university, but also get used to the city. Explore the area that you're living in while at university so you don't feel like a stranger. Doing some of these things are literally such a great way to adjust quicker to university and to make you feel like this isn't some strange town, and will make you feel like you can call this place home. Another little bit of advice I want to give you guys is that if you are feeling homesick at university, then use this opportunity to put loads of photos up of your family in your room and make it so it's cozy, so even though you aren't at home, you still feel like you're at home. So for me, that is things like putting in cushions that are from home, these lights that remind me of home. These photos of family members and friends can be things like just photos in frames, photos on walls. Chances are you might find that you don't know anyone else in this big scary new city and environment, so putting up photos of your loved ones is just another way to make you feel comfortable in this scary but exciting time in your lives. My last bit of advice I want to give you guys is that even though you should refrain from going home straight away when you first move to university, I do advise planning to meet up with your family every so often when you're at university. This will also make you feel happier because you will look forward to seeing them. I know this isn't always the case though with international students. I know that you guys can't always see your families, or you might find if you are a UK resident, you might not actually feel like you want to see your family members, and that's completely okay. Not every family is close, and you shouldn't feel like you have to meet up with someone just because it's suggested. I'm just giving this advice generally. However, when I do say to meet up with family, I do suggest that they come to you instead of you going to them. I'm not saying this for selfish or lazy reasons. Why I suggest this is because if you do choose to go visit your family at home, like I said in the video, this might end up making you feel like you want to remain at home. So by asking your family to come visit you at university, this is helping prevent that, and is also offering you the chance to show your family around your new university and your city. Not only that, but by them coming to visit you, you could end up making it into a whole day out with the family, so you guys can go do cute activities together, and it can just be a really nice day. However, like I said before though, this isn't always possible for every single family, and if it is better for you to go home because of financial reasons such as flights or other personal reasons, then that is completely fine. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there really. Those are all of today's tips and advice on how to deal with homesickness while at university. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful for you. Hopefully if you were worried about dealing with homesickness at university, this video has now given you some tips to use. If it did, please give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video for more university content. Bye!